All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the top three openings for black against e4. So looking at e4 is the first move for white, and we're going to play the black side of this. And so the way I approach this is the same way I've done the last couple. We take a look at the highest percent winning moves, and then we just play the top option for white against each of those. And so we're going to look at the top three openings based on win percentage for black. The first one here, we have e4 for white, and then it comes out c6. c6 takes us into a Caro-Kann. We're followed up by d4 is the most common reply. And then we come in here with d5. So right now, we're at a 47% win rate for black and a 5% draw. So that's pretty good odds from the black side at this point. So e5 is the most common reply. This is the advanced variation. And then we come in here to c5. c5 takes us up to a 51% chance win percentage. This is considered the Botvinnik-Karls defense. So much more common is actually bishop to f5. So this is a much more common move. However, the win percentage here is at about 48. So if you are playing practically, this might be the better option, but this is still an interesting line for us to explore. So we have the Botvinnik-Karls defense with c5 here. And then c3 is the most common reply. Black has still got a 52% win percentage here. So now we're on move 4 here for black. And the next move is knight to c6. We have a 53% win percentage from the black side of the board. Knight f3 is the most common reply from the white side. And then we have bishop to g4, putting pressure on the knight through attacking the queen. And then the most common reply here is bishop e2. Now our final move here is e6, giving us space for the bishop to be able to come out and support that pawn. We have a 57% win percentage from the black side in this position. So this is definitely an option to explore if you're looking for a new opening. This is the Caro-Kann advanced variation Botvinnik-Karls defense. Our next opening against e4 is c5. This indicates that we're going to look at a Sicilian defense. c5 followed by knight f3 is the most common reply. e6. Only the third most common reply, but it does give us a 50% win rate from this position. We have d4 as the most common reply here, followed by our most winning move, queen to b6. Now, if you look at the computer evaluation, it doesn't love that. The more common reply is c takes d. So that's a much more common reply. That's the most common reply. It still has a 50% win rate, so a solid option here, but we're looking at the top winning percent moves, so we'll continue looking at queen to e6, queen to b6. So following queen to b6, the most common reply here is d takes c, at which point that really wasn't the best move, but it is the most common, followed by bishop takes c5, and now we have these two pieces bearing down on the f2 square. That is definitely a real threat. We follow that along with queen to e2, supporting and protecting this weak pawn. Black now plays knight to f6, giving us a 63% win rate from this position. We have knight to c3 as our follow-up from white, most common move here. And then we go knight to g4, really putting the pressure on this f2 pawn. And we're up to a 68% win rate. The most common reply here is bishop to e3. And in reality, that is a pretty rough move. We are going to end up way ahead here. We take bishop takes bishop, and we have a 77% win rate with black from this position. So, as we can see, we have the Sicilian French defense variation. Our third and final opening we're going to look at starts off e4, as they all have. We then go into e6. So this is a French defense, purely French defense here. We have a 48% win rate with the French, with a 4% draw rate. Okay, so we come in here and play d4. That's the most common reply from white. We have d5. So this is a normal variation right now. We have d5, and e5 is the most common reply here. This is the advanced variation of the French defense. We continue moving forward here. We go c5. c5, this has a 51% win rate from the black side of the board. So even though white is supposed to have the advantage going into the opening, we can clearly see that the French defense advanced variation is giving a slight edge to black here. So we continue on here. c3 is the most common reply from white. We have queen to a5, pinning this pawn through the king, meaning we could take this pawn without this pawn being able to recapture. So queen to a5, we're at a 53% win rate from this position. We now go to move 5, bishop to d2, releasing that pin. Queen to b6. We can now put pressure on this pawn on b2. We have a 60% win rate with black from this position. b3 is the most common reply. So we had a6 that had a 62% win rate, and we have c takes d with a 60% win rate. Both options, very reasonable. So we can see from these three games that black has a higher than 50% win rate in these three openings. The Caro-Kann, advanced variation, Bodvinnik-Karl's defense, the Sicilian defense, French variation, and the French defense, advanced variation. We have a higher than 50% win rate. All three of these are interesting options to explore and study deeper. If you found this video interesting, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, check out this video. YouTube thinks you'd like it. Or check out this one. This is my newest video that I've published. And don't forget to click here to subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a great day.